Hey gang, welcome to Writing the Lights Out. My name is P.T. Hilton. Let's talk writing. So this week I want to talk a little bit about the signed copies that I'm offering on my site. A couple reasons I wanted to talk about that, but first let me show you what I'm doing with these. So I got my book here, Regulation 19, and I have these signed copies for sale on my site, and it's kind of cool. I think the idea that I'm using for these. So I got the book signed, of course, on the first page. This one happens to be made out to a guy named Jamie. And then I was trying to think of what could I do that would be kind of fun, something interesting that would add a little bit of value maybe to the signed copy. And by value, I mean something interesting for the reader. So what I decided to do was add some annotations, and I decided to add like 3, 4, or 5 annotations to each copy, and each one a little bit different. So like in this version, for instance, I talk about on page 36. I wrote a little note about how this one particular character is based on one of my childhood neighbors. And, I'm going to do 3 or 4 of those throughout the book. And it's kind of fun because it makes every single book unique, and it's also a fun way to connect with the readers. And there's really 2 reasons I wanted to talk about that. One is that, at first I was very hesitant to even offer signed copies. I wasn't sure whether I was going to do it. Because, it's my first book. Who am I? Who's going to really want a signed copy? But with this little annotation idea, people have kind of taken to it, and it's been one of my more popular versions of the book that I offer, and I'm very glad that I did because it's a really neat way to kind of connect with people one-on-one and offer them a really unique product. The other reason I wanted to bring it up was because a lot of the people who have bought them are the former listeners to my podcast, my old podcast. Before I wrote this book, I did a podcast for about 8 years called Six String Bliss, and it was a podcast about guitars. And I'm really grateful that some of those people followed me on this writing journey, and they were willing to follow me onto something that's non-guitar related and take a chance on me and buy one of these signed copies. So I wanted to say a big thank you to all my Blissners out there who bought a copy of the book, and I might have a fun surprise coming up for you in the near future. We'll see what me and Pipes can do. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. And if you're kind of starting out and you're not sure whether to offer something like a signed copy of your book, yeah, why not try it? Maybe nobody will buy it, but who cares? It takes 10 minutes to set up the page on your website. It's no big deal if no one buys it. And as you gain a little bit more readership, a little more popularity, I think it's a nice idea to offer kind of that premium product to the readers who are really interested, especially when you only have one book like I do so far. There's kind of nowhere to go once they buy the one book, and so at least I'm offering a few different options and kind of a premium version of that one book that I do offer. So that's the signed copies. That's what I wanted to say about that. I also wanted to get back to talking about the books that I'm reading a little bit. So right now I'm reading a couple books. I'm reading The Midwich Cuckoos by John Wyndham. This is a book that was recommended to me by a friend of mine, Dave, and it's really great. It's the book that the movies, there's been a couple of versions of it, but the movie Village of the Damned was based on. I guess they wanted to make the title a little more sexy for the movies, but it's really, really a cool book, and the author has a really unique, really dry style of writing, really matter-of-fact style of writing, very proper, and it's an interesting dichotomy with that really proper style of writing and the kind of creepy and outrageous things that are happening in the story. So I recommend that one. The other thing I'm reading is my friend Martin from the UK sent me a stack of books by Ian Rankin, who is an author who I wasn't familiar with. I don't think he's quite as well known probably in the States as he is in the UK, but he writes a really cool series of mystery novels about Inspector Rebus. And I read the first one, really enjoyed it a lot, and now I'm tackling the second one. So he sent me a whole bunch of them, and I'm trying to kind of space them out a little bit, but I'm working on the second one now, tooth and nail. Very excited about that one. So thanks again for that, Martin, for introducing me to this new writer who I really, really enjoy. And that's going to do it for this week on Writing the Lights Out. Come over to sixstringbliss.com. This month we're doing the weird questions like we did last month. But this month, instead of giving away a copy of my book, we're giving away a digital copy of the book Kick by John L. Monk. And it's a really cool book. It's kind of a story of a guy who leaps into different bodies of killers. It's really one of my favorite books that I've read so far this year, and I'm very happy to be able to give it away to some of you all. So come onto the site, answer the questions each week, and whichever question gets the most likes by the end of the month, we'll get a free copy of that book. So we'll give away 4 copies of that this month. So come check that out. Plus they're fun questions. Why wouldn't you want to answer a fun question, right? All right, that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for watching, and until next week, keep writing the lights out.